Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com. You know, I'm out here on the ranch, and I keep learning and learning. I had some cattle, half a dozen, I guess probably 25 years ago, and didn't learn much. Like I say, I'm kind of a slow learner. And but now I'm with people that more advanced than what I was, so they know something. And so I'm always looking and learning and trying to figure out what I'm seeing, because I see things and I don't quite comprehend what it is that I'm seeing. And it ends up, so I see these cattle, and here you can see they got some babies. See the babies over here? Yeah, we got babies. And then we got the big ones. And I say, I'm just amazed on the animal world. And everything has got some kind of a pattern to it. And the animal world's no different. They have a pattern to it. And they get in habits, and you get to the point where you know things about them. You learn things as you watch it, and you do enough of it, you start learning things. And so here I'm watching them having babies, and watch the way they eat, and I'm always asking myself, how can they be so I don't know how you say it, precise on everything they do. I mean, these cattle, I mean, they're on, you know exactly what to expect once you know what to look for. And I've talked about how you can herd them around, and you make them think they have choices, and they feel as if their lives are so fulfilled because they got a stomach full of grass, and they get to socialize, they get to have fun. So I've been watching and I've been asking, and come to find out, these cattle, the cattle we have here, they produce babies. They produce babies, and so that makes them a valuable resource. They produce, and as they produce, everybody profits. And and I was wondering, well, okay, what kind of life expectancy do cattle have? And well, first, what is it that you expect to get out of them? And I say, these particular cattle, you expect to have babies. So if you're going to have babies, you want them as long as they can produce babies. And then when they can't, then you know what happens. So I'm asking, and then they tell me that what happens, you can expect them to live 12 years, maybe 15 years. You can, on good ones, good cattle, these type of cattle, you can get maybe 10 babies. So and then, so what you have to figure is how much grass they're going to eat, how much grain, and how much it's going to cost to slaughter them and to package them, and all this type of stuff. So I'm thinking, okay, so there's 10 babies, and you have one baby a year. It takes them a couple years to be of age to have babies. Then that's 12, and then I'm thinking, well, that means they must have 3 years of retirement. And I guess cows don't retire. And so I'm asking, well, why? What's the story? And they say, well, what happens is they'll go to market. And when they go to market, they'll have another tag, and tag in their ear. And the tag will be a 10-year-old tag. In other words, they're over 10 years old. And then so then I'm thinking, oh, okay, well, they've done something with their lives, so now they get to retire. And then I come to find out, when they get that tag and they go to market, well, what they're retiring to is kind of like a McDonald's old folks home. They're going to be made into hamburger. And so that's what they have to look forward to. So in other words, what they're doing is they're producing, they're being well taken care of, and they're producing for the ultimate goal of going to McDonald's. Now, I asked myself, man, is that what I've been doing? So I've been thinking, so I've been producing, and then you get old, and then I get that 65 tag in my ear, and then that means that what? And I've talked about that also, that I've noticed this trip there's a lot of old people that are working. So maybe humans got a different lifestyle than cattle do, even though they go through the same stages, but the results are different. And like I say, now they're not going to, these cattle aren't going to be sick, and if they get sick, well, we got to take care of them, and so they can keep producing. And boy, a lot of this seems to parallel humans. And so I'm wondering, is this the way everybody lives their life? Producing for what? I mean, are we producing as humans for the government, or are we producing for ourselves? I don't know. Different folk, different strokes. So, and this is what I talk about, country life and city life, because I can see the country life, they're producing for themselves and their local community and the people around them. In the city, they're just producing for the government, aren't they? They're producing for the city government in taxes, sales tax, this type of stuff. They're producing for the county in property taxes, and they're producing for the state in the way of tolls and services, I guess. I'm not quite sure, because the country folk, we don't get all involved in all these different services that the city folk get involved in. So we look at things a little different. And then, but it looks like all of us, even us country folk, all of us are producing for the federal government. And sometimes I wonder, is that what we were meant to do? Produce for the federal government? Our founding fathers, did they figure out the Constitution so then there would be a way that the people could produce for the government? I don't think so. I think somewhere down the line we got misled. We got our priorities all screwed up. And now you're working for the government. What difference is working for the government and being a subject to the king? I don't know. I don't make a good subject, and I say I kind of stay away from as much government services as they're providing. I try to use as minimal as possible. Called self-sufficient, called taking personal responsibility, and called moral responsibility. If you don't have those, I think you are subjects of the state. This is Mike, NoStressMike.com.